Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Zach. So today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to run through a back workout. So instead of just overlaying the video with just like a little chit chat, we're going to actually dive in and I'm going to walk you guys step by step through my workout, give you a couple tips, couple tricks, hopefully help you out with a couple of your workouts. Today we're working on width. So not back thickness, we're working on more back width. So from side to side. So from side lat to side lat is what we're going for, working for width. And I'm really trying to focus on also the tie-ins at the top and the bottom of my lats. You can do width exercises, you can do thickness exercises. They both will work both, but like predominantly the more like rowing motions you do, you're gonna work more your thickness. So thickness is like if you're standing sideways from your front to your back, like that, like your thickness, the depth of your back. So I always start with warm-ups. I didn't record my shoulder warm-ups because in that mobility video that I did for you guys, a lot of that was what I do on a daily basis. Pretty much anything except for legs, I warm up my shoulders. My right shoulder is a little rough from playing baseball as a kid and just roughhousing and stuff. So I always like to do a little extra warm-up, make sure my shoulders are good. I'm just doing some warm-up pull-downs, various grip. I'm starting wide, doing middle, doing close, and then doing a reverse. Just stretching everything out. I'm doing really slow, really tight contractions at the bottom, really good stretch at the top. By the time I'm warmed up, usually it's probably a good 15 minutes into the lift. If you talk to my boy Ethan, he'll be like, oh, it's about an hour into the lift, but whatever. So shout out to Ethan Paul. Love you, big guy. So here, we're getting into one of our first working sets. We're at 80 pounds, it looks like. I do have wrist wraps on. The camera angle isn't the best. I'm still learning. So I got the bar wrap. I'm just trying to take my forearms out of it and just really focus on contracting my lats and contracting my back. So if you look here, it looks like I'm a little lean back. I'm actually not super lean back. What I'm doing is I'm contracting my lower back and my middle back. My lower back and my middle back. So I'm forcing my shoulder blades down and then squeezing. So I'm putting all the tension on my lats and trying to take it off my biceps, off my forearms, and off my shoulders. And another thing too, for every set, you'll notice, I pretty much go to failure every set. Whether it's, aside from some of the warm-up sets, most every other set I'm pushing to failure pretty close. That's just the way I train. I don't recommend it for beginners. So if you don't have your form down, if you don't know your weights, if you don't know your workouts, you don't know your body groups, then definitely probably don't train this way. But for anyone more intermediate, especially advanced lifters, the results you get are phenomenal because you're constantly stressing and pushing that muscle. So even if you're not jumping up in weight a super ton, if you're pushing yourself to this limit every set, your muscles are going to respond no matter what. So now we're getting into some straight arm pull downs. So right here is wide and reverse. So I do stagger my feet and I change where I'm standing. So I notice the further forward I'm standing, the higher up on my serratus it's kind of working. And then when I sit back like this, where I'm leaned over more, I can get a good stretch at the top part of my serratus, but then also a really tight squeeze more of my lower side lat and then the bottom part of my serratus. And then I'll switch grips, and I believe I'm going reverse. Yep, reverse close here. Push myself in real close. If you look, my elbows are super bent. It's a really short motion. I'm really just focusing on contracting those serratus. That's all I'm doing here. Now we're at full and working sets. No more warm-ups. Back's warmed up, shoulders warmed up. I did some curls and some tricep extensions. Everything's nice and warmed up. So a big thing that you're gonna notice when I do pull downs, if you pay attention, especially on like this side angle, I'll pull my elbows forward. I'll rock them forward. So that helps me, again, focus on squeezing my lats. If you have your elbows cocked back and you're pulling more towards your face or towards your chin, you're gonna contract more of your traps. When I don't wanna do that, I wanna put all the weight on my lats and I'm squeezing my lower back and my rhomboids. When you notice like that arc, if you look at my chest, you can see it arc back. That's because I'm contracting everything in my back, but then I'm really focusing on driving my shoulders back and down with my elbows and then really contracting those lats. And then up and I'm stretching. A lot of the first reps you'll see me do, they look like half reps, but really it's just me keeping the tension. I don't do stretching reps usually until a little later into the set. I really like to just hammer that muscle and then start stretching it, working on the negatives, and then doing full reps or half reps from the top. Got a nice new shirt, Old Navy shirt. This is not a plug for Old Navy, but it just looks good. Some new Vans. First time I've ever had Vans. I've never, if you go back through all my workout videos, there's one small period of time where I had some rider wear shoes, but aside from that, it's been Chucks since like day one. So it is really weird working out without Chucks on my feet, but I desperately needed a new pair of shoes. So, and nobody had Chucks. So I do steadily increase the weight. When I get to a point where I'm starting to struggle more, I'll usually leave it. So I'll usually jump up 2 or 3 times, 3-4 sets, sometimes maybe 5, but usually 3-4 sets. And then I'll find a weight, usually about 2-3 sets in, and I'll just leave it there. I don't do rep ranges, so this is another big like tip or trick, again, more towards the intermediate and advanced range. So I don't count reps. In my head maybe, like if I just want to keep track, but I don't have like a set rep that I'm going for. Like I don't do the 8, the 10, the 12, the 5, the 4, the 3, whatever. I just kind of hit it. I usually start at a weight that I think, or I know I can get about between like 10 or 15, and then I'll just rep it until I can't, or until it's pretty close to not being able to. I do a lot of slower rep tempos to really focus on time under tension and contracting the muscle. So when you're contracting your muscle, your body is built to be as efficient as possible. So your body wants to get the most amount of work done with using the least amount of energy and the least amount of your muscle fibers. So if you focus on doing time under tension and you hesitate at the bottom of the rep, so like when you're squeezing the muscle, contracting the muscle, and at the top of the rep when you're stretching, you are now slowing down the pace, so your body has to recruit more muscle fibers. So essentially you're gonna get better results quicker. Again, you're gonna burn more calories, and you're gonna micro tear more of the muscle. So you're gonna grow and respond better as long as you're recovering good. So I switch it up. I don't do the same thing every set. So like usually if I start with a wide grip pull down at the beginning of the set and then go to a middle grip or a close grip, the next set I'll switch it around. I'll start with a close grip and go to a mid grip, go to a wide grip. I don't know if it's my OCD or ADHD or whatever it is, but that's just how I've always done it. It just keeps it fun, keeps it interesting, I guess. All right, okay, so as always, Blackstone Labs. They're my company. I love these guys. I've been with them for a hot minute. If you're a beginner and you just want basics like pre-workout and protein, then all the proteins taste delicious. What's on the label is in there. There's no amino spiking. There's none of that nonsense. It's good quality stuff. The pre-workouts, if you're a beginner, do not whole scoop it. I do not whole scoop the pre-workouts, whether it's the pump pre-workout or the stim, so the V2 or the Dust X. I do not full scoop any of those. It's insane. I tried like 3/4 of a scoop of the pump, the Hype Reloaded, and I thought I was gonna explode. The pump was insane. It was amazing, but yeah, if I whole scoop Dust V2 or Dust X, I'm on another level. It's a lot. It's a lot. So you can easily get away. I do like 1/4 to 1/6 of a scoop. Now we're starting to get into some different stuff. We're changing grips. So this is a mag grip. It's a medium grip mag grip. So I know a lot of gyms don't have mag grips, which is fine. If you don't have mag grips, the pirate bar is what I always used to use. So I call it pirate bar because it looks like, the pirate sword with the handle over the hand. Use that, middle one, wide one, whatever. It just kind of, again, it pulls my elbows forward a little more, so it really helps me contract my back. And now we're slowly like working our way in towards our back. So we started the outside of our lats, the tie-ins, the lower part of our lats, and now we're kind of creeping into the middle. So we're working slowly towards the middle of our back. Again, if you don't have this, you could do just a closer grip pull down. If you only have a straight bar, a closer grip pull down. Again, just focus on pulling those elbows forward. If you have more of a medium grip, just like straight hand bar. So like you have the close grip bar, and there's ones that are a little wider. So you can use that. You can use the pirate bar. You can 2 separate handles and do it that way. There's a lot of different variations you can do. You don't need this exact equipment. This is just the equipment I have at hand. All right, so here, this is one of my favorite workouts. I don't see anyone else really doing them, at least not the way I do them. It's a short motion. You look kind of stupid at some of the angles. This is a better angle actually for it. Usually it looks a lot more stupid. So we are focusing on our rear delt right here. Rear delts is something that a lot of people lack, but it's something that makes a physique. So your rear delts will make you look bigger from the front, from the back, from the side, everywhere. So you need good rear delts. They're very hard to target for a lot of people because you can't see it when I started doing it, the thing I did, I just put my hand over my shoulder, like my right hand over the back of my left shoulder, and just feel it contract so I know what I'm working. So a hard thing with this, at least this workout too, and most rear delt workouts actually, is keeping your lats out of it and keeping your traps out of it. The biggest thing I found to do that is here, you can't really tell too much because of my shirt, but I'm flaring my lats the entire time. So this right side that I'm doing right now, my lat is flared. I'm pulling with my elbow in like an arcing motion, not whipping the weight, I'm pulling it, trying to pull the weight away and up from my body, and I'm contracting just that rear delt. And then here, now that I stood up, I'm almost, in my head, I'm picturing rocking my elbow up over my lat. So if my lat's here, my shoulder's here, and I'm pulling my elbow, I'm rocking up over my lat. And it's focusing on just contracting that rear delt. Here we're doing low lat rows. So I'm just targeting mainly the bottom part of my lat, like where the bottom tie-in is, all the way like into my spine. If you could draw like a square through like the middle of my back, over to my lat, and then down, that's what I'm working. So I'm pulling back, getting a good stretch, and then pulling back. I'm trying to pull my elbow into my body, and then when I get to the back, I'm actually slightly tweaking it in, so I'm trying to pull it like towards my other elbow, and that really contracts that lower part of my lat. I put the seat all the way up, and I grip the bar nice and high, so as to, again, I want to pull down. I don't want to just pull my elbow back towards me, I want to pull down, as far down towards my hip as possible, and that's really grabbing that lower lat. We are supersetting with dumbbell rack pulls, and you can call them good mornings, you can call them whatever you want. I call them dumbbell rack pulls just because it's like a rack pull but with a dumbbell. I like the dumbbell better than the barbell. It just feels better on my wrists and like my elbows and stuff. I don't know why, it just does, probably like the hand position. So with this workout, you don't have to go super heavy, especially later in the workout now, because we've been contracting our lower back pretty much the whole time. You want a nice slow rep tempo. You want to feel the muscle fibers contract and then release the whole time. So nice slow rep tempo going all the way down, all the way up, contracting my whole back. I'm actually doing at the top as I'm squeezing my arms down, my elbows back, so I'm pulling my lats, contracting everything in my back. And then I'll get to a point where I'm just doing half reps from the bottom. You'll see that here in a second, or in one of the next sets, just to keep all that tension lower on my back. It's always a great idea to work out your lower back. It is a pain, like you'll get a massive, massive pump, so I recommend doing lower back work more towards the end of your workout and a little lighter. I used to do it at the beginning, because way back when someone taught me, oh, you want to work from the bottom up when you do your workouts, so like start with calves, you know, if you're doing legs, start with forearms, if you're doing arms, start with lower back, if you're doing lower back, or doing back. So I did that for a couple times, and like the pump was insane. The rest of my workout suffered, so it just wasn't good. So I recommend doing that at the end of the workout. I'm contracting my ass a little bit, but really not. My goal is to keep the weight off of my hamstrings and my glutes, so this is not like an RDL. I'm trying to solely focus that weight on my lower back. So you'll see I start relatively good posture, and then as I go, I'll kind of let it go slowly on my lower back, a little more of a arch, a little more of a cat back, whatever. That is on purpose. I'm trying to put that tension down there to strengthen it, to work it out. Plus, I want that really nice, tight, nasty looking Christmas tree when I'm shredded. And then we did some pull-ups to failure. These were not fun. I did a lower bar so my feet start on the ground, so it takes momentum out of it. So I go down, yeah, and then I go up as high as I can, and then nice and slow on the negative. And then eventually, I do take this to failure because I get to a point where I have to hop to get up to the top of the rep, and then try and go down as slow as I can, and it was done for. So that was the back workout, guys. Hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, let me know. Comments, I'll link my Blackstone stuff down below, my Instagram. You can hit me up, you can DM me on Instagram, you can message me on YouTube, you can comment on the video. So yeah, it was good talking to you guys, and let me know how it goes. All right, bye-bye. We're going to cut this part out too. A little bit of B-roll or some shit. You know, it was loading perfectly like 5 minutes ago. None of these issues were here. And now that I'm recording, she's buffering pretty good. Shit, I just realized I'm shaking this thing the whole time. So if it's that bad, then I might just do the audio for this in another video. But I apologize if it's that bad.